Hi guys, it's Kyne. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a hair tutorial on how to get this wet hair look. This is 22 inches of Brazilian body wave hair from Supernova hair. Let me just preface this video by saying I was so not into this trend when I first saw it. Like when Kim Kardashian started doing wet hair, I was like, ew. Like when drag queens started doing wet hair, I was like, ew. And then when I saw it on myself, I was like, I could actually get into this. Thank you to Supernova Hair for sponsoring this video. I will leave all the wig details down in the description. But without any further ado, let me show you how I got the style on this wig. So I'm wigless. It turns out this is a styling tutorial that you can actually do on your head. You don't need a mannequin head. We're not doing all of this rolling and steaming and none of that. So I have got our wig right here. I've actually gone ahead and done a bit of customization work off camera. So what I did basically was I bleached the knots by applying some bleach right in here to dye the knots something more closer to my scalp color. Basically the way that a lace front will work is that the hair is tied to the lace, so it looks a little dark because there's a knot down there. So if you bleach just the knots, it just looks a little bit more realistic, as if the hair was growing out of your scalp. So I went ahead and did that off camera, and I also plucked and tweezed at the hairline to make it a little bit more sparse. So that's pretty much all I've done to this wig, and then obviously I just wash it out with some shampoo and conditioner, so it is just fresh. And you can see, because the lace is a little bit plucked and tweezed and more sparse, you can see there's a part right there, but you can see there's that very like clocky line right there, and that's because my wig cap is lighter than my real skin. So I am going to take a little bit of foundation. I mean, this is really the only area that it matters because this is where my part is. For the sake of letting the glue adhere a little bit better as well, I'm going to take a wipe and actually wipe off some of my makeup around the perimeter of my face right next to my wig cap, because that's where we're going to apply the glue. And if you put glue on makeup, number one, it's not going to stick as well as it would if it was just glued onto your skin. And number two, it just makes the lace dirty to get that makeup all up in it. So since the skin is going to be underneath the wig, we can take off the makeup there. So let's get our wig and sort of put it on halfway. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So I'm putting it on, and I want it to lay right around there. So I'm actually going to take it and pull it back a bit, and also clip the hairs back. The kind of glue that I use depends on what I'm doing that night. When I'm dancing and performing, I actually use Prozade, which is a very strong glue. But for something like this, if you're not doing that much dancing and you're not putting that much pressure on the hairline, you can just actually use hairspray. This is the Got To Be Glued Blasting Freeze Spray. And I've also got our hairdryer right here, and I'm gonna switch between applying this to the hairline, like you're about to see right here, and then blasting it with cool air to speed up that drying process. I can tell right here, the skin is lifting up, it's very sticky. Up here, not so much. I'm gonna go in with layer number 2. Now I'm gonna grab my wig very gently. I'm anchoring a little bit farther back here. You don't wanna pull on the lace, and I'm gonna lay it down. When you pull your wig down to secure it to the glue, make sure it's placed as far down as you would like it to be, because once it's stuck on there, you can't really adjust it anymore. And I like to pull it down quite a bit because my forehead is pretty big. Now that the lace front has been glued onto our forehead, the method that I'm about to show you is going to be an optional one, but I'm going to cut and lay down some baby hairs to make this wig look a little bit more natural. Not really something I usually do with my wigs, but because of the nature of this hairstyle, because it's laying so flat on our head, I just think it makes the wig look a little bit more realistic. And because we're going with this like wet hair look, I think it all sort of blends together really well. So the way I do that is I will actually use like an old toothbrush. You can see I kind of plucked the wig a little bit too much, like I look like I'm balding right here. So that's sort of partially the reason why I'm going to be doing this. You basically just take a small number right along the hairline, and you can actually cut them a little bit shorter just with scissors like this. And let's clip the rest of the hair back so it doesn't get all caught up in this mess. I've got those strands here in my hand of what we're gonna use for our baby hairs. I'm gonna spray them with hairspray like this. And with a toothbrush, you are kind of gonna anchor the hair down and like brush it to the side like that. Okay, I'm gonna do it over here too. So you can see here's the hairline over here. Looks pretty good, but it can look a little bit better. So I'm gonna take, like, this is honestly too fat. Let me get a thinner brush. So here's a comb. Just taking like not many hairs, like just that is sufficient. Then you can cut off the excess length. This is a little razor comb that I really like. Spray it with hairspray and then brush it down with that toothbrush. Anchor it with my finger and then I brush it back. And then you sort of have to hold it for a while. You can use a hairdryer too. I'm not that great at this. It's still something I'm sort of perfecting and mastering, so you don't have to do this step if you're happy with the way that your hairline looks, but just a little thing that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so this is what our wig is looking like. Again, it's just air dried from being washed earlier this day, so that's why it looks like this. But I'm gonna get that bottle of water and conditioner and start getting it a little bit damp. And you wanna get it not soaking wet, obviously, but just to a point where it's like almost towel dried. So get it to that sort of dampness. And don't hit the hairline, don't ruin your makeup because that'll undo the hairspray. So just get it up there. Now, because we're working with human hair, that makes this process all the more easier because human hair already naturally wants to be a little bit wavy when it's wet, so we can sort of exploit that property of it. So get that hair nice and damp. I'm just brushing that water through the hair. Let's get a little bit here as well. To enhance that curl pattern, you can use a sort of texturizing spray. This one is from Garnier. It's their Deconstructed Beach Chic Texturizing Spray. So I guess it's like, have you ever heard of those salt sprays to get that beachy wave texture? You can add that to the hair. I'm like tasting salt. So I'm gonna add that to the hair and sort of scrunch it up to get it a little wavier. And so from this point on, I'm not running my brush through the hair anymore because I really want it to be nice and wavy and messy, right? So again, avoiding my edges. As long as the hair comes like either straight or body wave texture, then it's really not that hard to get it to look a little like this beach wave pattern. Now the problem is to make this last, because obviously if we just get it wet with water, then it's gonna air dry, and it can air dry to any sort of texture, but we want to keep it looking shiny like this. So that's where we have to turn to products. So I've got a couple products here that I've been trying out. This is a healing oil spray from Macadamia, and it's got macadamia oil and some argan oil. So you can see the shine that the oil adds is like kind of extreme, like it's a lot of shine. Another product you can try, this one is from Redken. This is their Outshine 01 Anti-Frizz Polishing Milk. So it's not an oil, perhaps it has some oils in it, but it looks like that. And you just work it through the hair. I would just go through your closet or your like hair aisle and look for anything that advertises shine, and that's what you want to try out. Obviously we don't need it to be shiny forever, like we don't need to be adding like grease to the hair. We just want it to be shiny for long enough that we don't need to be like spraying our hair with a spray bottle as we go out to the clubs. One third and final product that I will show you guys that you can use, and you can use any one of these three or a combination of the three and just experiment to see what you like the best. This is gel. Gel will probably give you the most lasting shine, but the problem is that it just makes the hair crunchy. So you really have to weigh what you're doing with this hair. If you're going on stage, then you might want to try gel because that will give the best effect from the audience. But if you're doing something else that night, maybe you want people to run their fingers through your hair, I'm not judging, then maybe you want to use an oil or something else that's not going to make your hair crunchy at all. So you guys, this is the finished look. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you guys learned something cool, and if you're interested in getting this wig, again, it's 22 inches of Brazilian body wave hair from Supernova Hair. I'll put the link and everything else down in the description for you to go check it out. So thank you to Supernova Hair for sponsoring this video, and thanks to all of you for supporting this channel. If you want to see the makeup tutorial on how I did this face, you can check that out on my channel. But until my next video, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!